Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and we're getting a jump start on the GSXR 1000 project bike here. So in this episode we're going to be pretty much just taking everything apart. I'm going to remove all the fairings, take the mirrors off, I'm going to remove the tank, drain the fluid, or drain the fuel, and take the tail section apart because it's pretty much junk. I'll probably remove the front tire and pull the forks because those got to get resealed, and I may or may not just start draining some fluids and stuff like that. We'll see what time it is once we get this thing ripped apart. So you're going to need a set of Allen keys by the looks of things, a small set of sockets. I'll go ahead and list the sizes as I go through the bike. And yeah, other than that, we're just going to start taking it apart and get it ready for repair. Like I was showing you in the previous video there, we got a little bit of work ahead of us. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So let's finish our coffee, get a small little breakfast into us, and get after it. It's definitely a good day to work on the bike. Holy smokes, it is really coming down. Managed to bring the 08 Ninja 650 in before it got completely soaked, which is nice. Alright, so I'm going to get started with taking the windscreen off, and I'll get rid of the mirrors afterwards because they're bolted through the front cowl onto the frame. We'll get around to that. So for my bike, I mean, it all depends on how butchered your bike is, but I've got all sorts of different sizes here. So I'm working with a what size is this? 3mm for these really small bolts for the windscreen here. And I got a random 4mm there. So just go ahead and take these 4 off.
My fear, just pull me away, pull me away.
Oh, that rain's really coming down. Okay, so I'll show you here. These, on the windscreen here, the back side, these rubber nuts, more or less. 1, 2, 3. I imagine there should have been one there, but seems to be missing. So, alright, that's the windscreen. So my next step now, I'm going to go ahead and remove the mirrors. These appear to be 5mm. Yep. Looks like they tried painting it with the mirrors on. Alright, there's those 2 off. Okay, that's the front end loosened up a little bit. Now let's go ahead and start removing the upper front cowl. Yeah, 4mm for mine, okay? Oh, yeah, I don't know if you can see my feet or not, but I am wearing sandals. Nothing more comfortable. Alright, these 3 fairings on the front here, okay, they got a really small shoulder on them. It's even smaller than the top ones up there. Okay, so yeah, there should be 2 screws underneath here to get the headlight out from the front cowl. Okay, let me go get a Phillips screwdriver. Now, I clearly didn't look ahead on how to
take these apart. I'll explain exactly what's going on here in a sec.
This should come right off. There we go. Okay. So I don't have all my screws holding my front cluster onto the bike. That's why it's falling off like this. But those two screws underneath there, they stay on the front fairing, the nose fairing. And then you just got to remove the Phillips screws, okay? And that will that'll release it there. Now, because my screw is broken down there, I got nothing to hold this up. So let me just get a zip tie real quick, and I'll zip tie it up to the frame. Okay, that's not going nowhere. Now these air ducts, it looks like they just, you know, on a normal bike that hasn't been rolled over a couple times, there's two bolts right here that bolt the air ducts to the side fairings. And then there should, it looks like there should be two screws down here underneath the front, you know, right underneath the air duct. There's two screws that hold it in, and I somehow am missing both. So that's awesome. And that tab's just about ready to break too. So I might need some front, some new air ducts here. We'll see. Because I've got to make a tab there. Well, first zip tie of the operation. Oh, maybe not a zip tie. Okay, on the right side of the bike, it looks like this is factory. It's got a zip tie with a like a little tab here that goes up inside of the right side air duct. It's a bit of a peckerhead to get at. Once you've gotten it apart and you're wondering why this isn't coming off, just take a little pair of needle nose here and just pinch that connector. Not a connector, but little tabs. There's two little ears there. Take them and pull them in, and that'll pull it out of the fairing. It's in this one here actually. Okay, it looks like that's kind of holding the harness up. Okay, so I don't know if you remember from the first video there, but my left side blinker's not working, and I've got those Hot Bodies flush mount lights. So I can see some exposed wiring down here. I just want to quickly make sure that it's not just a wire issue and save myself about 40 bucks. So I've got some quick connect. This is some homemade electrical here for sure. Yeah, this could be the problem here. So I'm just going to turn it in the on position. Yep. Right works, and the rear. The left rear works, but the left front, oh, the left front is working now. Oh, look at that. It is a connection issue. Woo-hoo! Hey, that's why you take it apart and play with it first so you know what you're actually dealing with, right? I was literally going to go online and buy new Hot Bodies flush mount lights, because this one he said was out. It's fine. It's just looks like the power side is got a, there it is. Yeah, it's a breakdown right here underneath the tape, so I can fix that, no issues. So yeah, you're gonna want to go ahead. We're gonna remove the side fairings now. So you're gonna want to go ahead, unplug your turn signals. Should be just two connectors. Like these are aftermarket, so I've got little butt connectors, disconnectable from the main harness here. And power is the red, which is red on here. And yeah, I'm just going to set that up into the bike there. And yeah, so that's the left side. So get that disconnected and tuck those in there. This is the bigger one. It looks like there's an inner fairing behind the tire here, okay? And it should tie in with the 1-2 bolts on this side and then 2 bolts on the other. So let's start with that. These are 5 mil, 4 mil. Alright, these two bolts here got a little shoulder on them as well. Call it the small shoulder. Alright, that breaks that up. There's a bolt up here. So yeah, I got one bolt up here on the just above the engine side. Looks like this one really holds the fairing in. Up top here. Now I got another Frankenstein hex bolt here. Alright, this one has a washer on it. It must be a larger bolt usually. I got two more bolts down here. They're hex 5 mil, I think it is, right? 8 mil. Okay, so there should be two push, I call them two-stage clips, but you know, it pops out and then you gotta pinch it and pull it out. There should be two holding this, holding the fairings together down here, and I don't have any, so that's awesome. Now this bad girl should just lift right off. There she be. Hey, look at that, a little bit of fiberglass work. Let me go set this on the bench. Alright, I'm over on the right side now, and I've got my busted signal disconnected. Same idea, they're all 4 mil. I guess Buddy must have ran out of these big, large head size. So he went out to Home Depot and picked up the, the other ones. That's the size that should be holding the side fairing onto the frame with a nice long, long thread. Again, two small shouldered bolts on the bottom here. Yeah, okay. So that slides right out of there like that, with the 1, 2, 3, 4, and they are the style that have a clip with the threads on the back, okay? So mine came off like that, I'm just gonna leave them on there. Make my way back. Looks like they should have a bolt in there, but... Oh, it's another one of those funky screws. You know what's funny is I'll probably end up reusing these. So cheap. Okay, so now on this left side it's a little different. We'll get on the back here, it looks like there's a one more bolt that, it's right underneath the chain. Underneath the gear shifter here, okay? And that looks like it holds the fairings there. Alright. That's a small shoulder one as well. And the last one just up here holding it all on. Probably better to leave this bolt till last. And there you have it. Holy. Look at that grease, eh? That must be from the chain. Melted. I'll put this on the table. Alright, so it's really starting to look like a street fighter now. There's four more bolts here. Now these are just for the front fairing, the tire hugger here, which this one looks like it's in good condition. And your 4 mil as well. Okay, so these ones have a nylon little washer that slide onto the bolt. That fits nicely in this hole, okay? So these ones look a little different. You might want to put these ones aside. You know, sometimes I'll just go ahead and put the bolts right back in the holes so I don't forget where they go. This, unfortunately, like they thread into the forks, the bottom of the fork here, and I'm going to remove the fork altogether. So I won't do it this time, but you know, it's a good habit. Like you take these fairings apart and then you just thread the bolts right back in, then you know where everything goes, right? For me, lucky I'm making this video and I'll probably reference it. Let's get the other side here quickly. I just realized this bike has an Öhlins steering dampener on it. I don't even know what those go for. That's probably a pretty expensive part. I should look it up. Got the bike for 1,800 bucks Canadian, and definitely looks like I got a bit of a deal. imagine a steering dampener is at least 500 bucks. Alright, so here's the 2 bolts off. Now right away I can see the brake lines are clipped into the tire hugger, so we'll have to pop those off. Uh-oh. Oh. I don't know if yours has that, but there's 2 rivets up here, okay? For this right side brake. So make sure you pop those off. They just clip right into the fairing. Oh, and then I also got a bolt here that clips onto the right side fork. Okay, that looks a little bit bigger. Let me have a look. Yeah, it is. Okay, let me get a socket here. Looks like it might be 10 millimeter. Yeah, you know what? This one, it's got a built-in big shoulder on it as well. Yeah, so there's 2 bolts on holding the fairing to the forks here. So make sure you get both of those. Unclip the brake lines from the fender. Remove the 2 front bolts, and should come off. Okay, yeah, so you just go ahead in here. I need gloves because I got fork oil everywhere. But you just lift it up and then push these 2 inner fairings in. That'll kind of make it a bit skinnier. You can pull it through the forks. And then that's what you're dealing with there. Now we're ready to remove the tail section. I'm gonna try and remove the underbelly as well because I've got to make some repairs on that. So yeah, you're just gonna take your key. Rotate it. This pops the rear seat off. I've kind of already got it taken apart. I'm more or less just showing you here. Take the rear seat off. It's actually quite a bit of room in these super sport bikes for goodies, power commanders and whatnot. And now there's 2 bolts here that you need to remove. So these 2 bolts holding the driver's seat on are 5 mil, okay? I've seen a bunch of questions on forums on how to remove the seat. You know, usually when you pull a tab or a cable or you rotate a lock on a bike, it pops the driver's seat up. I think that might be where the confusion is. They kind of sit on the tail section. So there's the seat off. That'll expose your battery. And now you've got 2 5mm here, okay? And that holds the tail section to the subframe. Now this tail section is pretty much hooped. Just like that. Okay, so when I was on YouTube, I could not find any videos on how to remove the underbelly tail section. It's kind of a little more complicated than the rest of the fairings, okay? So it looks like quite a bit of the electrical stuff is kind of bolted to the underbelly for securement. You know, I'm looking at this now. There's a bolt here that holds a connector on. This harness, it just kind of sits on the inside pan here. So you can take that up and out of the way. Here's the bar to prop the tank up, okay? So we're gonna do that next. I'll just put that to the side. And it looks like the light should come off with it, but the electrical will stay. So yeah, it looks like I'll have to disconnect the lights. Okay, so I spent a minute on how to look at this rear underbelly pan here. And yeah, so it holds everything electrical pretty much. So the battery's got to come out. This main harness has to come out. There's a bolt here that holds this connector on. This stuff, it looks like it's kind of floating. Then there's 2 screws at the back here that have to come out that hold the rear brake light. These wires may have to get cut. We'll have a look here. All right, let's get a Phillips and we'll take the battery out. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the negative. Okay, so that's the battery removed. Now I can see there's this bad boy just kind of floating there. This little connector here is kind of odd. I don't really know why that would be bolted on like that. Whatever. There's a nut on the back, okay? Alright, so that's a 10mm to hold that nut on the back of this bolt. Try not to lose anything. This connector, I think I'll just leave the bolt right on it. Both washers. I'll slide the nut back on there. Just tuck that out of the way. Alright. Alright, so this big connector here just flops right out. I'm going to get a rag or something to wrap it in. Alright, so I had a couple minutes there to play around and see what's underneath here. So, you know, once I don't know about yours, but once I took the tape off of all this, these were all bundled together. It looks like I might have a couple of jerry-rig splices in here. You know, this one was ready to break for the license plate light. And I got everything separated. I think I'm going to go ahead and label these. Okay, go figures. I couldn't find white tape, but I got some red here that I can write on. So I'm going to start with the right side of the bike. I got my right turn signal. It's these two wires here. So I'm just going to go ahead, tape these. Do a hot lap. Get my Sharpie. Right. Alright, so move on to the left side. And for me, like, I'm assuming the power cable is the blue one here and the black is the ground. Yeah, because I'm going to have to cut these ones here because I don't have a quick connector on my power cable. Double check, I don't want no issues in the future. It's wrapped around that wire, but no worries. So this is the left side. And again, I got a red wire and a black, assuming the red is the hot. Alright, and then my last bit of wires are the license plate wires here. So, looking at it now, it looks like I've got a bunch of grounds and hots pinned together. So on my license plate light, my ground is spliced into the brown wire here, which is the ground for the tail brake light and running light. So why don't I just, I'm going to label it anyways, just because I'm going to probably end up redoing all of this. This is quite the shit show now. Now coming out of here, this is the power cable for both the license plate and the brake light here. So this is the, likely this is, one of these is a running light and one of them is a brake light, right? The running light stays on all the time. I don't know which one's which. Okay, so I figured out what it is. You know, there's two 12 volts here for the brake and the running light, and then they share a common ground, which is this brown wire, which is pinned onto this plate. Alright, so we're on the tail section here. I just kind of going handheld here to show you. There's 4 bolts holding this underpan on by the looks of things. And that's 1, where's my finger at? 1, 2, and then down underneath 3, 4 on the other side, okay? Now these top ones here, like, cause it's, you know, we're in Canada, they're rusted right out. So I'm gonna spray some penetrating lube on it because I just about ripped the head of the bolt off there. So I'm gonna spray some PB blaster on that, let it soak for a minute, and take those 4 bolts out, and hopefully this underpan comes out. I got an extension on my 10mm here to get at these 2 bolts because they're kind of tricky with the left and right turn signals. Oh, there we go. Got her. Pretty much got my mouth right in the exhaust. Yeah, so okay, you can't use a long socket, so let me go get a shorty, okay? Alright, there's your 4 bolts. Alright, so I got the 4 bolts out that hold the underbelly pan to the frame. And now I'm ready to unscrew the lock, okay? So last thing, it looks like I got the electrical out of the way. You know, when you rotate the lock, the passenger seat pops off. And there's 2 Phillips here, okay? And this locking mechanism is bolted right to the subframe. So we'll get our Phillips again. Tuck this locking mechanism down into the underpan, and hopefully, without too many more surprises, we should be able to pull this bad girl out. Okay, so it looks like there's one more surprise for us. After I've got the lock off of here, I discovered there's a little tab down here. It's going to be hard to see, but it holds another electrical connection on. I just took a flathead and kind of pried it loose and popped it off. It's just a little rubber grommet there, okay? Okay, so with the 4 bolts undone, the 2 bolts holding the lock on, and then pulling that little tab that I just showed you there, you can wiggle the underpan out. It's kind of jammed, mine was kind of jammed next to this electrical connector here, the one edge here. And then there you have it. She's out in all her glory. Alright, so that's going to conclude this little video on taking the fairings apart on the 2001, 2, and 3 GSXR. Should be relatively the same on the 600, the 750, and the 1000. Procedure should be pretty much the same. Now I've got all the plastics off, and my cluster's zip tied up to the front. So at this point, you know, you can go ahead and start your sanding or whatever repairs you want to do on your plastics. I've got quite a bit, so the next video I think I'll do is how to remove the tank, drain the tank, and take the fuel pump apart, and we're going to get the rust out of the tank, okay? So that'll be the next little video series. If this video helped you at all, please consider subscribing and maybe hitting the like button for us. It really helps us out, lets us know that you guys appreciate the content. This was a little fun project, you know, like fairings can be intimidating because, well, I got an entire tray full of bolts, you know, where the hell does it all go, right? So hopefully with the video, you know, you're not too intimidated. It's really not too bad, you know. You can always go on, reference this video, take your own pictures if you want. And yeah, so that's it for this one, and I'll catch you on the next one.